Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time joining, thank you. If you are a new subscriber or a previous subscriber, welcome back. And again, I would like to thank all of the new subscribers who have taken the time to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate all of you new subscribers. I appreciate the time that you have taken to subscribe to my channel. Okay. So what's going on today is I have here in front of me, I have my desktop computer. I'm currently editing a new video for you, and it is going to be a update on the machine embroidered baby quilt blocks. And I have that edited actually, and I just need to get that uploaded here to YouTube. So while we're doing that, I am going to talk to you about the quilt show. I mentioned it. I'm not sure if it was in the video before the Redwork baby quilt blocks. I know I've done a couple different videos, but I mentioned that we had the quilt and craft show here in town this past weekend. And I'm a little bit late getting the quilt block video uploaded and this video recorded to talk about what I did purchase at the quilt show. And I know this doesn't look like a lot, but it is going to eventually turn into a possible series of some videos. And I'll explain that in a minute. There's somebody outside making a bunch of noise right now. Sorry if you guys can hear the banging. Okay. So I have been a little bit behind. I had a couple doctor's appointments. For those of you that don't know, I am trying to get on a healthier lifestyle and a weight loss journey. I do have a thyroid condition that I've had really bad issues with trying to lose weight. So I am trying to do that so I can be healthier as I'm aging. That is where I kind of am in between some of the lagging of getting the videos posted. But anyway, we're gonna work on that, and I'm going to try to get the videos posted quicker. I think there's like 6 days between this last one and the previous one. Okay, so enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and jump into what I have purchased at this quilt show. And I know, again, it doesn't look like a lot, but it will turn into hopefully a series. So what I did is, of course, I'm one of those ones that when I go to a quilt show or a craft show, I just don't jump into purchasing something unless it's something I know I absolutely want right away. I kind of walk around and think about what I want, and then I'll go back and purchase it. If it's something that I think will, that I'll enjoy working on, and that, you know, things like that. I could have bought fabric and things like that, and there were some beautiful fabrics that I really loved, but I did not want to pay those quilt show prices. Some of the items were discounted, and some of the items were very expensive, and I am just not going to pay those prices for some of the fabrics that they wanted. Several of the yards of fabric that I loved were almost $17 to $20 a yard. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying that price. I'm just not. I don't see, no matter how much I love that fabric, I'm not paying that price. So I walked around and I thought about what I would get. And while walking around, I found these really great cutting mats. And it's by this company, bigmatrotarycuttingsurface.com, and this is their price list. And I think I'm going to eventually order maybe the 18 by 24, and I'll keep it here on the table. or it'll just be like one that I can pop up on the table as I need it. But one of the good things about this is it was a different surface. So usually we're familiar with this type of cutting mat. And of course you can see that these are the Fiskars cutting mat. I do have a large blue one that's done by Ann Taylor or June Taylor. I think it's June Taylor. And they're the self-healing cutting mats. So I really like them, and I was thinking, well, what's so special about this cutting mat? So I was looking at them and everything. And one of the great things about these cutting mats that this company sells, it's a white cutting mat. So it's going to help you see your fabrics on that white background really easily. I really did like that. Then one of the good things is that when you're cutting on it, and you know, like when you're cutting and you get those, let's see which side. This one's not too bad. But when you're cutting and you start feeling those grooves in your mat, and you can feel like the ridges and stuff where you've been cutting, what she did is she took I'm just going to use this one because it's the closest one I have. She used a small quilting ruler, and she just ran it back and forth like this on the cutting mat, and she says, feel it. So I felt it, and those ridges completely disappeared. She just kind of like smoothed those ridges right out. They just disappeared. And I really like that idea for the longevity of the cutting mat. If you've bought a cutting, well, look at that. Look who came to visit today. For those of you that are not familiar with my channel, this is Luna, the crafty kitty. Are you going to stretch? Are you going to stay here and say hi? What you going to do? She wants attention, so we're just going to pet her for a minute while I'm chatting with you guys. What as I was saying is with the cutting mats, you can just run a quilt ruler over them, and the little ridges, the cut marks disappear. Another good thing with the cutting mats, I really wish I would have bought one of the small ones, but I mean, a 10 by 16 mat was basically this size, and just maybe just a little bit smaller. Let's see, what, 2 inches smaller on the width and the length of this one, and it was $25 for the show price. And I could have bought it, but it was just, I figured I already have 3 cutting mats. I didn't need another one. But I may eventually get in touch with them to see that if I can work with them and maybe get you guys a discount. We'll see what's going to happen with that. I'm working on a couple projects like that here in the very near future. So please stay tuned for that. But one of the things that was great about this cutting mat is you could put your fabric right on the square and you could just cut. And you didn't have to hold your fabric down. You could just cut, and it cut. It was like really amazing. I don't know if that could be a negative thing over time, because if you just put something down and you go to cut it, it may not be accurate. I mean, most of the time, quilters are taught to, let's just pretend this piece of paper is a piece of fabric. You're taught to put down your ruler and get your rotary cutter and cut. And you're taught to hold that down. I don't know if the idea of a cutting mat where you can just put your fabric down, I have my blade closed here, but where you could just put your fabric down and you can cut whichever way on it, and that fabric did not move on this cutting mat. So it's going to be something that I look a little more into in the future to see if it will be worth buying a cutting mat or another one. I may try to get one of the small ones, and just so I could do a demonstration on it and everything and share with you guys the sizes and things like that. So like I said, that's going to be something that I'm going to try to contact them with and talk to them. Okay, so let's move this aside. Another thing what I was looking at, I love looking at the long arm machines, and truthfully they are so fun to play with when you're at the quilt shows. But oh boy, guys, these prices on a lot of the long arm sewing machines, it's just something realistically for me that I don't ever see myself buying. And that is because of room. In our home, my husband has his room, I have my room, and then we have the garage. And then we have our master bedroom. So we each have our own like little man cave and she shed, or her girl cave, whatever you want to call it. And I just don't have the room for a long arm machine. Even if I was to get one of those, what do they call them, the minis, or the cutie frames, like those, they're supposed to fit into like a 4x5 section. That's great, but that's what my work table takes up. It takes up a 3-foot by 5-foot section. And since I've bought the large 12 needle embroidery machine, I just don't have that kind of room in this office, in my sewing room. So, but I like to look because I like to, you know, play with them, things like that. And these were the prices. I think this was the one for this particular Eclipse machine with a 10-foot frame. It was included in this show price. And then for the smaller one, it was $4,995 with the machine and everything. And, you know, if I was going to be doing quilts only, this would be a fantastic deal. But this is through Eclipse, made in America. He told me he's been in business, I think like over 20 years, things like that. So there was that. I like playing with them. Will I ever get one in the future? No, I just don't see that happening, because now with the like I was saying, the multi-needle embroidery machine, I can finish my quilts with edge-to-edge designs. But it's always fun to look and to play with them. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys what I bought. So we're going to go ahead and start with this one. This is like a crossbody bag. You can either do crossbody across your back or across your front. And that's what that looks like there. It's called the Mav bag. And at their store, you can buy the straps already made, or you can make your own straps and use your, I don't know what, the sliders? I think they're called purse sliders, to adjust the length of your strap. And I purchased this from a company called Emporium Threads, and you can see that there. And you can find them on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and it's at emporiumthreads.com. And what made me stop at this booth is they had all the beautiful rolls of the vinyl, and then they also had a roll, or several rolls, but it was a really nice thin vinyl, and it was like glittery, and it was just so beautiful. And the price was, I think, for an 18-inch by 53 or 56 inch roll was $20. And that's not a bad price. I was looking, I went to go check out their website, and I guess that's their fixed price. Right now they are sold out of a lot of stock, because they have just done the Arizona Quilt Show. I think he said it was the Phoenix or the Flagstaff Quilt Show, something like that. And then they came on to New Mexico, here in Albuquerque. But I will definitely go to their website and check out some more of their vinyls and things like that, because I do want to make some bags and some purses and things like that. And they had this amazing soft faux leather, and it felt just like velvet. It was like a suede, imitation suede, but it was a vinyl, and it was so beautiful. And I'll eventually go to their site and purchase some things. But they had this pattern there, and this pattern was on sale for, I don't see it on here, but it was $9.99 for a pattern. And I thought this was really great because it is a nice crossbody bag. And when I do go places, I don't like carrying a regular purse. I like something that I can cross over me. And that way, you know, I'm hands-free and things like that. So I got this one, and I thought it might be nice as well, because there is a portion on the front. They put one of their little like labels here on the front of the bag, but they had the display where the front of it had a design embroidered on it. So I would be able to combine a machine embroidery design to the front of one of these bags, or even do like a monogram on them or something like that. So this is a project that I will be doing in the future. Okay. So before I forget, some people here in the New Mexico and the Albuquerque area may be familiar with Ann Silva. And she had a sewing shop, long arm store here in town, and she recently retired and went out of business. And this is her son's card. And now what they do, as you can see, is called Sew Rescue. You can see that there. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And what they do now is, since they closed the main sewing store and the long arm shop and all that stuff, with her retired, he now just does the machine repairs. And so he does Bernina, Singer, Husqvarna, Baby Lock, Pfaff, Handy Quilter, and Brother. So if you're not, or if you are in the Albuquerque area, and you do, if you live in the surrounding area or anywhere in New Mexico, and you do not have a local quilt shop near you that can fix machines, there is sewrescue.com. And there's that. You guys can, hopefully you guys can see that okay. Okay. Now I've saved the best part for last. So you've seen these beautiful dragons here sitting off to the side. And this is not a fabric. This is it's a fabric, but you can see it's a fabric backed vinyl. And you can see that. And it is absolutely beautiful. So the very first booth we went to when we got to the quilt show, of course you go in, you use the restroom, whatever you got to do before you kind of start walking around, and you know, fill out your little raffle tickets and things like that and put those in the box. And I was looking at the booth, and they have a lot of rolls of vinyl as well. And what I loved about this booth is that it was strictly, okay, I might not say that word, not strictly, but it was a booth that is basically all for machine embroidery, which I absolutely loved, because the year before I had never seen a lot of, there was like a little section here, and maybe at this booth over there they would sell some thread, or maybe, you know, just something to go with machine embroidery. I've never seen a booth that has hoops or anything like that, and still did not this time. But this booth had all kinds of stuff for machine embroidery. And I was so excited, being that it was the first booth, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much I want. So the booth was called Glitter Bug Fairy, and you can see her little logo here, and Glitter Bug Fairy. And you can see that this is the show bundle embroidery, and you can see here that it's called Silver Dragon. And this is what they look like. They are just absolutely gorgeous. So when I saw these, I was like, oh, cool, you can buy these bags and everything. And I did not, she had some display bags purchased or made already and sitting there. And I was thinking, okay, they're bags you can buy that she makes. But I did not see the rolls. And I was like, God, those are really gorgeous. How much is the bags? And she says, oh, you buy the, let me show you. So this is a giant roll. So I'm going to just unroll it as we go. So these little ones here are mini bag tags. These two are for, you can see keychain. Here's two more mini bag tags. These are 5x7 panels. And these here are the 7x5 panels. And when they, I guess when they had it printed, these were supposed to be the 7x5 panels here. But what they, I guess they did a reprint for the 7x5 so they're in the correct direction. See how they're, these ones are long ways this way, and these are long ways this way. So these are 5x7 and then 7x5. So what was really cool is you got two little extras, I guess, because one of their misprint errors, I guess. So you can do two different 5x7s. These here, this one, and this one are for a lip balm holder for like your tube of chapstick. Then you have two 4x4 panels where you can make, I think these were for a little change purse. Then you have some extra small bag tags. And I'm going to just fold this in half so we can get it all in our shot. And then you have two 9x6 panels. And this is for, I think it was for a small crossbody bag or maybe a makeup bag. And then you have two 6x9 panels. And for this whole roll, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different bags, like little bags, lip balm holder, bag tags, things like that. 11 of them, and I paid $20 for it. You can go to their website, and let me roll this back up so it stays nice and clean. And Luna loves little scraps of vinyl, so I don't want her getting a hold of this. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this out so you guys can see this portion. Or this one. So what I will be doing is these are all created in the hoop on the embroidery machine. And I am just so excited to be able to do these. So the good thing is, now if you remember seeing this little thing, I thought it was just a little keychain. So I'm like, oh, I don't want a keychain. Actually, what it is it's a USB. Now I paid $15 for this, and what it is it's every single pattern to make these bags that you will need. You have it all on the preloaded on your USB. And what the good thing is you can just either buy the preloaded USB for $15. I don't know if this was just for the show or if it's online as well. You would have to go and check that out. I have not looked thoroughly. I was so excited looking at the website, at all the other rolls and the other printed vinyl panels for the bags that I didn't look for the USB. But like I said, I paid 15 bucks for it, and it comes preloaded with all the patterns for this complete roll. So it tells you how to do all the bags. And another good thing is that I now have patterns to make any kind of bag I want in the hoop. So I'll have all these patterns for these bags, and I would just have to cut the fabrics myself or the vinyls myself, and I can make any kind of bag I want with them. So I thought that was really good, and I thought paying $15 for all those patterns would be great, because if I remember correctly, each pattern might have been $2 or $3, something like that. So that would have been what, over 20 bucks? Over 20 bucks for all of them? 22 maybe? Something like that. And I paid 15 for it, and I can make any kind of bag I want. Okay guys, so that is what I purchased at the quilt show. Like I said, I could have bought fabrics and things like that, but I just wanted something that I was going to love, and these are going to be from my collection and my use, because I do love dragons and I love owls. So this is going to be something, the dragon bags will all be for myself. And when I do make bags later, I will use either a solid vinyl and maybe embroidered designs on them, or just a quilt fabric and make the bags as well. So, because I will always have those patterns. Okay guys, if you have any questions, please comment down below. I am going to leave the where I got the shop name, the name for this one, the bag pattern, where I purchased it at. And you guys really should go check out the vinyls, because they were just absolutely beautiful. Not only for the glitter at the Emporium Thread. Yeah, Emporium Thread. And I wrote a little note on there for vinyl. But the Glitter Bug Fairy as well has absolutely gorgeous vinyls as well. Not just pre-printed, but she had, I don't know, vintage embossed or something like that. I know they were an embossed vinyl, and they looked like leather, like the old embossed leathers. So definitely check those out. All right, guys. If you have any questions, please comment down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.